Yo, Ethiopia, the OG story begins. Alright people, gather around, let's talk about Ethiopia. This isn't just any country on the map, it's a place with a history so rich it practically oozes out of the ground. We're diving deep into the heart of a nation that has seen the rise and fall of empires, the birth of civilizations, and the dawn of humanity itself. This ain't your average country, folks. Ethiopia is a land of contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern life in a vibrant tapestry of culture and history. This is OG, original gangster of nations. We're talking about a place that has been at the crossroads of history for millennia. We're talking ancient history, folks, like way back. Think about a time when the world was young and Ethiopia was already making its mark. Think pyramids, but with better coffee. Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee. And trust me, they know how to brew a cup that will knock your socks off. We're going on a journey, a historical safari if you will, through the epic tale of Ethiopia. From the ancient kingdoms to the bustling cities of today, there's so much to explore. Buckle up, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. The terrain here is as rugged as the history, but that's what makes it all the more exciting. Why should we care about Ethiopia? I'll tell you why. Remember Lucy? The oldest and most complete hominid skeleton ever found. No, not your crazy ex-girlfriend, I'm talking about that fossil they found? Yeah, that Lucy. She's a big deal in the world of anthropology. Oldest human ancestor ever found. Guess where? You got it, Ethiopia. This country is literally the cradle of humanity. This place is the cradle of humanity, people. It's where our story began. And it's a story that continues to unfold in fascinating ways. They were chilling with pharaohs while Europe was still figuring out fire. Ethiopia's history is intertwined with some of the most significant civilizations of the ancient world. This is a country that has seen it all, done it all, and still has time for a mean macchiato. The coffee culture here is second to none. So next time you hear Ethiopia, don't just think famine and marathons. Think of a land rich in history, culture, and resilience. Think history, think culture, think resilience. This is a nation that has weathered countless storms and emerged stronger every time. Think, damn, Ethiopia's got stories. Stories that span thousands of years and touch every corner of the globe. And trust me, they're about to get told. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be amazed by the incredible journey that is Ethiopia. Let's rewind, shall we? Imagine a time long before the digital age, before the Industrial Revolution, even before the medieval knights and castles. We're talking ancient history here. Back to a time when Rome was just a village with an attitude problem. Picture a small settlement with big dreams, surrounded by hills and filled with ambitious people who had no idea they were laying the groundwork for one of the greatest empires in history. Enter Aksum, the OG empire of Ethiopia. This wasn't just any old kingdom, it was a civilization that thrived and influenced the world in ways that are still felt today. These guys were the real deal. They had a rich culture, advanced technology, and a society that was way ahead of its time. Trade? They were the masters, connecting Rome to India like Amazon Prime. Imagine a network of trade routes that spanned continents, bringing goods, ideas, and cultures together in a way that was unprecedented. Gold, ivory, spices, you name it, Aksum was trading it. Their markets were bustling with activity, filled with exotic goods that were highly sought after. Forget your iPhones and Teslas, these guys were the original trendsetters. They had innovations and luxuries that were the envy of the ancient world. They had their own written language, Ge'ez, which, let's be real, sounds way cooler than anything we got. This script was used for everything from royal decrees to religious texts, showcasing their advanced literacy and administrative skills. They even had their own currency. Imagine a society so advanced that they minted their own coins, facilitating trade and economic stability. I'm talking gold coins with kings' faces on them, not just some boring old paper money. These coins were a symbol of their wealth and power, and they were used far and wide. The kings and queens of Aksum weren't just sitting around counting their money though. They were leaders who expanded their territory, built monumental structures, and fostered a culture of innovation and progress. They built towering obelisks, think massive stone pillars that are still standing today. Imagine the engineering skills. These structures were not only architectural marvels but also served as symbols of their achievements and aspirations. Aksum was a powerhouse, plain and simple. Their influence extended far beyond their borders, impacting neighboring regions and leaving a legacy that would endure for centuries. They laid the foundation for a nation that would become a beacon of independence and resilience. Their spirit of innovation and strength set the stage for future generations to build upon. Plus, they probably had some killer coffee ceremonies back then too. Imagine gathering around, sharing stories, and enjoying some of the finest coffee the world has ever known. The culture of Aksum was rich, vibrant, and full of life. Now let's talk religion, folks. Ethiopia wasn't about to follow the crowd. While the Roman Empire was feeding Christians to lions, Ethiopia was busy making Christianity its official religion. That's right, 325 AD. Take that, Constantine. Legend has it that a dude named Frumentius rolled up to Aksum and converted the king. Just like that. Talk about a persuasive guy. And guess what? That king was none other than Ezana, the guy who made Aksum great. This wasn't just some passing fad though. Christianity became deeply ingrained in Ethiopian culture. They built magnificent churches carved right into mountainsides. Think about that the next time you complain about your church parking lot. This early adoption of Christianity wasn't just about faith though. It gave Ethiopia a unique identity in a world dominated by other religions. It was a way of saying, we're different and we're proud of it. And that, my friends, is a recurring theme in Ethiopian history. Fast forward a few centuries, and Ethiopia is still going strong. This ancient land with its rich tapestry of history and culture has seen the rise and fall of many empires. From the early days of the Aksumite Empire, which was one of the great civilizations of the ancient world, to the medieval period, Ethiopia has always been a land of resilience and innovation. This is the medieval period, a time of knights, castles, and really bad haircuts. Across Europe, knights in shining armor were jousting in grand tournaments, and castles were being built to withstand sieges. Hairstyles were elaborate, often impractical, and sometimes downright bizarre. But while Europe was embroiled in its own medieval drama, Ethiopia was charting its own unique course. But Ethiopia? They were rocking their own style. Traditional Ethiopian clothing with its vibrant colors and intricate patterns stood out in stark contrast to the drab and heavy garments of medieval Europe. Festivals were a riot of color, music, and dance, celebrating the rich cultural heritage of the Ethiopian people. This was the era of the Solomonic dynasty, a long line of emperors who claimed descent from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. These rulers were not just political leaders, but also spiritual figures believed to be divinely appointed. They presided over a golden age of Ethiopian art, literature, and architecture, leaving behind a legacy that still resonates today. Talk about a power couple. The union of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba is one of the most famous legends in Ethiopian history. Their story is a symbol of the deep connections between Ethiopia and the ancient world, a testament to the country's long-standing significance on the global stage. These emperors weren't messing around. They built grand palaces and fortresses, showcasing their power and wealth. The ruins of these structures still stand today, a testament to the architectural prowess and ambition of the Solomonic dynasty. They built magnificent cities like Gondar, a place so beautiful it's known as the Camelot of Africa. Gondar became a center of art, culture, and learning, attracting scholars and artists from all over the region. The castles and churches of Gondar are architectural marvels, blending Ethiopian, Arab, and European influences. And you know what else they had in Gondar? Coffee. Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee, and the coffee culture here is unlike anywhere else in the world. The traditional Ethiopian coffee ceremony is a social event, a time for friends and family to come together and enjoy the rich, aromatic brew. Legend has it that a goat herder named Kaldi noticed his goats going crazy after eating some berries. Curious, he tried them himself and discovered the invigorating effects of caffeine. This serendipitous discovery would go on to change the world, giving rise to the global coffee culture we know today. He tried them himself, and, bam, the world's first caffeine high. From that moment on, coffee became an integral part of Ethiopian life. The coffee plant, native to the Ethiopian highlands, was cultivated and cherished, and the coffee ceremony became a cherished tradition. From humble goat munchies to global phenomenon, coffee became a symbol of Ethiopian culture. Today, Ethiopia is one of the world's leading coffee producers, and its coffee is renowned for its unique flavors and high quality. The coffee ceremony remains a vital part of Ethiopian social life, a symbol of hospitality and community. But it wasn't all sunshine and lattes. Ethiopia's history is also marked by conflict and struggle. The medieval period saw numerous battles and power struggles, as different factions vied for control of the region. These conflicts were often brutal and devastating, leaving a lasting impact on the country's history. This was also a time of conflict with Muslim sultanates vying for control. The Christian Ethiopian Empire faced numerous invasions and attacks from neighboring Muslim states, leading to a series of protracted and bloody wars. Despite these challenges, Ethiopia managed to maintain its independence and cultural identity, but through it all, Ethiopia held its own, defending its territory and its unique identity. The resilience and determination of the Ethiopian people have been a constant throughout the country's history. From the ancient Aksumite Empire to the modern day, Ethiopia has remained a land of strength, pride, and cultural richness.